Hello, my name is Chris Leister, and I'm going to talk to you about my short film, Whispers. The story of Whispers came to me one evening where I woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't see anything. I thought I heard someone talking as if my wife was talking in her sleep or something. I looked down where my wife was supposed to be, and I thought I could make out her figure. Of course, I couldn't see anything and began to reach out, only to discover she wasn't in bed, but went to the bathroom. And the talking I heard must have been in my imagination. All this gave me the idea of trying to turn this story into my project for this month. With the first shot of the film, I wanted to introduce the Whisperer subtly. It is a blink and you miss it type of thing. The Whisperer was created by taking a zombie asset I purchased a license for and lowering the opacity of it. I added a distortion on top of it to give a more jarring appearance. I lowered the tint to darken it to be more of a shadow, and then added a blur to match the look of my wife's shadow. Then when it was all said and done, I color graded and added the black bars to give it a cinematic feel. I added titles at this point because I felt that revealing the Whisperer in full worked perfectly with having a title card. The title was the first time I used the zombie asset in order to portray the Whisperer. I added the same effects and adjustments as before, but this time I had to track the zombie to the door so that it didn't look like it was still while the door was moving slightly. For the bedroom scenes, I filmed the lights being on and off differently. For the lights on, I kept very standard shots to imply that things were normal and not out of the ordinary, despite seeing the Whisperer a few seconds prior.
Ads are driving me nuts.
When the lights were off, I chose to film at different angles to show that things were off and not as they seemed. Due to limitations of equipment, I had to color grade the darkness to give the desired effect, instead of light the scene for it. Are you okay?
When filming the point of view shot, I used my cell phone to get a better first-person view. I blurred the image because Chris was seen earlier with the glasses on when looking at his tablet. The effect used to make the image go from blurry to clean was simply masking, using two different shots. The first shot with the blurred Whisperer and the second with the empty bed. The final Whisperer moment is more complicated than the previous ones. I filmed myself in front of the green screen 2 separate times. The first was my reaction, and the second was me as the Whisperer. The effects for the Whisperer were the same as before by adding the distortion effects and toning down the opacity in order to give the shadowy look. I had to film my wife knocking out the Whisperer separately. I even added a light in order for it to show a door being opened behind the Whisperer. Once done, I pieced everything together by placing myself in front, the Whisperer right behind me, and then the layer of my wife hitting the Whisperer. I added some sound effects and color grade, and that's how this portion came together. Funny thing to note, I actually re-recorded this entire project from the footage that was originally submitted, with exception of the Whisperer at the end. Thank you for watching.